What is going on, everybody? Just doing a quick video on how to rend cap. There should be one dropping here in the next couple minutes. This is the POV from the capper, or from the person getting capped, which will be my my warrior. The gist of this is that you need a horde character that is a minimum of level 20 with engineering that is at least 215. You need to hit level 20 so you can get that additional 150 to 225 range for leveling engineering. When this all goes down, either the capper, which is the horde character, or the person getting capped needs to start a mock garage, which is a duel to the death. Once that duel starts, the capper will then use this mind control helmet, which once again you need engineering 215 to use. They will use that mind control helmet, and when the buff goes out, both people get the buff. The capper tune will then run over to the inn, which is behind us, and they will log out so that they get the coward debuff. The coward debuff is a 20 all attribute decrease, an attribute decrease by 20%, damage reduced by 20%, and armor and resistance is also reduced by 20%. And it is a 3-day in-game debuff. So that means that you cannot just leave your house for 3 days and your character comes back just fine. No, you actually have to spend 3 whole days, that is 72 hours, in the game for that debuff to fall off. You can cap this in one of two places. The first, which is the most beneficial and easiest to do, is in Crossroads. When you're in Crossroads, you get a 20-second heads up that the buff is dropping, and that gives you plenty of time to start the duel. You can also cap yourself in Ratchet, but in Ratchet you only get a 6-second heads up, which is not enough time to start the duel, so you actually have to have the duel started prior, which is risky in its own regard because you have to worry about the potential for maybe if like you disconnect, or if the capper disconnects or something. If the capper disconnects, it's one thing, you know, they'll disconnect, they'll lose the duel, and they'll get the debuff, but you lose the rend. If you disconnect during the duel when it's already started, and you don't get in fast enough, not only will you not get the buff, but you will get the debuff associated with it as well. So, yeah, it is like a real hit or miss thing. So I always prefer to do it here in Crossroads. It's just easier, it is less risky, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, you don't have to have the duel started. The only thing you do have to do is you have to have I agree copy pasted into your macro, because when you start the duel to the death, you have to type in I agree, then hit accept. Then the other person has to type in I agree and hit accept. So just saving yourself that typing time is pretty valuable. That aside, hopefully this drops here pretty soon. I'm banking on getting it right now because I mixed up my days. It was supposed to be, it's a Thursday drop that I was looking at, but I thought it was today, which is Wednesday, so that was on me. So I'm just kind of hoping that it drops along these double buffs that the horde are dropping here in the next like minute or two. But the rend buff is really big, especially if you're a tank. You don't necessarily need it for 20 main content, or at least I don't, just because of how far my guild progressed. But getting a guaranteed rend is pretty nice because it is a 300 HP increase, 15 haste to melee attacks, and if you're a caster, it's 10 mana per 5. But typically it is the melee that want this buff. So that the HP does not scale with the other world buffs and other raid buffs you get, but that 15% flat attack speed is super nice. Hopefully we get this coming soon. If you are the capper, though, you do want to have a couple of macros already made. You want to have one that starts the duel alongside just hitting the Control C, Control V for I agree. And then you want to have a macro for a log out because it just makes it a little more streamlined. Because they're going to run all the way over there because that's where the in is, and on the back side of this in, if you get to like right there, it auto logs you just like if you were like actually inside the building or if you're in a major city. So you don't have to wait for that 20-second cooldown, that 20-second timer. It just insta logs you, and then the capper gets the debuff, and you can go about using your boon to go ahead and save it up. It does look like these buffs are running late. It said 50 and 52. It is now 53. But if you do want to know about when these buffs are dropping, like guaranteed, checking the server Discord is probably your best bet. People or guilds typically post when they're dropping buffs and drop the Rend buff. The thing about Rend though is that there are only 3 layers available to drop it on, and so if all those layers are taken, you have to wait for that 3-hour cooldown to go off. Looks like they're running late with the buff, sadly. Because normally when ZG drops, you get a 50-second timer that ZG's dropping, and then once that's up, typically the entire server that is over getting buffs will teleport back. And once they are done teleporting back, you'll see a timer for a 55 death. You'll see the timer for Onyxia or Nefarian, and then you'll see the 20-second timer for Rend drop simultaneously. But other than that, like once you've capped yourself like a couple times, or had someone cap you a couple times, or capped someone yourself a couple times, it's oh, here it is. It's that, and then I hit I agree, and then the capper is going to mind control me here in a second. Cool. And then the capper's gonna run away. We got 6 seconds. Lightning hits me. They have left. I do not have the debuff because they left and got it. I can now boon my stuff, and now I have a 60-minute Rend buff, and I'm good to go. Only thing I'm missing now is Songflower, but I'm not too stressed about that for what we're doing tonight, but I'll probably grab it anyway because I'm, that's just how I am. Anyway, hopefully this video helps. Anyone that has questions about this, hopefully I answered them all. And yeah, enjoy your Rend buff.